Alright, so this is the video for the activity of the week of November 21st. We're just going to start since there is 14 problems, so we did have to get through a lot. So for this first problem, it's wanting you to basically input f of 0 into g, which is meaning anytime you see an x for g of x, we're going to put f of 0 into there. So first I'm going to do what I did kind of in class if you were there. I'm going to find f of 0 first, which would be 0 squared plus 7 times 0 plus 4, which gets you just to 4. So now anytime we see an f of 0, we can put in 4, right? So now we have negative 4 times 4 plus 7, which gets us negative 16 plus 7. That equals negative 9. So there's your answer for number 1. So basically, when they ask you to input that kind of function, I would first find that function as a unit, so it's easier to plug in for the second one. Number 2 is similar. It's meaning g or f in g, kind of the same thing as last time. So this is the equals the same. This is what that means. So what we're going to do is anytime we see an x in g of x, we're going to put f of x. So I'm going to first kind of show that here. We'll see it like this. Might make more sense to you guys if I do it this way. If not, you can always skip this method and go to the next step, which is where I'm going to do, we know f of x is x minus 9. So anytime we see an f of x, we do x minus 9 squared plus 5 times x minus 9 plus 6. So that gets us down to, this is x squared minus 18x plus 81, right? And then we have plus, the plus 5x minus 45, that's from here, plus 6, which just gets us down again, x squared minus 18x. Oh wait, sorry. Already did that step. We need this one. Gets us down to x squared. This is combining like terms, right? So we have this plus 5x is going to go here, which gives us a negative 13x. And we have plus 42. That is combining 81, 45, and 6. So that gets us, this is what g of x minus 9. This is where they ask you just to find the polynomial, which is right here. We don't have to go anything further from that. Alright, so number 3. Number 3 is we want to get into that formula again, right? If 2 is our base and 16 is our answer, right? If we remember that, we have 2 to x to something equals 16. You can do that by memorizing how many times it...
Could you try again?
How many times it means to... sorry, that was my Siri. How many times it needs to multiply by 2 to get to 16. You'll get more familiar with this, but 2 to the 4th is 16. So, the answer of log base 2, 16 equals 4. This is what you're wanting to help get, but this is the formula you want to kind of remember from here. Alright, so for number 4, very similar. Get it to that formula, right? If 2 is our base, and square root of 2 is our answer, we don't know this, right? This is where you could see that 2 to the x, right? The square root of 2 is the same thing as 2 to the half. Well, they have the same base, so this x needs to equal 1/2, right? Alright, so that is where you get to this, and then you need to answer log of base 2, square root of 2 equals 1/2. That is how you would write your answer. Now on to number 5. Number 5 is, again, you need to remember that formula. 3. This is now we know the answer is x, so this is now we know to put x here. All the other times you could have used different kind of variables. This one is, you know that 3 times 3 equals 9. So 3 squared equals 9. So that means your 2 is x, right? And that is all you needed to find because they said just find the value of x. Now, number 6 is similar. We need to remember our formula, right? Now, x is our base to our negative 1/3 equals 1/4. Now, that gets us to our base here, right, is x. So we need to figure out how do we get that 1/4, right? Another way we can kind of do this, get this out of here, we can kind of raise these both to their negative third. Because by doing that, x turns to just x. If you remember when we raise a certain power to a power, you're actually multiplying. That's just a rule to remember, right? So that's just 1 equals 4 to the third, right? If you remember, this negative third means the reciprocal, and then 4 to the third. So the reciprocal of 1/4 is 4/1, which is just 4, right? So that gets us to 64. If I'm going anything too fast, please let me know and email me about these. I'm just trying to get into these 14 problems in this video. All right, so number 7 is remembering what these logs mean, right? So when you're subtracting them and they have the same base, you are actually dividing them, right? So actually, you're doing 3 log A over log Q. This is not completely condensed because this 3 cannot be in front of this log if it's condensed. So we need to take another step further. And if we remember, this 3 will go up here, right? It will be what A is going to be cubed. And log Q is just stays the same. So you have this, and then another step again to write this. You can keep that log here. Is A to the third over Q. So that is the condensed log. This is what they want you to get to that form when they say condense it. Now, for number 8. Number 8 is where they want you to, again, remember what all this kind of means and how you can get this to single logarithm again. So they have the same base, so we have all the same rules. So first we're going to kind of get these, get the first one into its, like, the smaller way, I guess we're going to move that 2. So we actually have log base B 3 squared plus log base B 4. Now we know that actually means these are actually getting multiplied to each other if they have the same base, right? Then that gives you log B of 36. However, this can be simplified again. You can either put this as log B 6 squared. They usually don't like big numbers there. Or you can get it to here, 2 times the log B of 6, because that 2 is moved over here. So these are the same answers. You can answer it either way. You don't really have to follow those. But yeah, so that's what they want you to get as a single logarithm. They like to have smaller numbers with those logs. Alright, I am going to stop the video here. This will be part 1. Part 2, we will do the other side.